Welcome to a Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Snav, and my pronouns are they, them.
My name's Harmat, and my pronouns are she, her.
And this is a Game of Thrones.
Wait, no.
What?
I need to say her, she, because then it's like Hershey.
I will just leave that in as it is. This is Game of Thrones. No, this is a Game of Thrones. We're a little rusty here. We had to skip a week or two, and we're back, but it's fine, right? It's fine. Just tell me it's fine.
Yes, we are good to go. We are better than ever.
All right, so these chapters are 57 and 58, Sansa and Eddard. In these chapters, hey Sansa, what do you want?
Oh, sweet Joffrey, can you spare my father?
We'll see. Switch to Ned. Hey Ned, you should totally confess your crimes, dude.
I don't care about my life.
Yeah, but what about your daughter's life, though?
About that. Wow, guys, don't you love our voice acting skills? Hey, Walmart, if you want us to voice act for your commercials,
Why
we're ready
Walmart?
to go.
Why would you ever want to do a commercial for Walmart?
I wouldn't. I don't like Walmart as a brand, but that's the first thing I thought of because someone that I know does commercials for Walmart. So it was the first thing that my brain
Okay,
thought
now
of.
I need to know who.
It's like not someone that I personally know, but like someone that I kind of know, like that I've talked to over the
Okay,
internet.
fine. Tell me after.
Yeah, I will. Like, I wouldn't want to expose them on here, because then I'm, like, saying their name on a podcast.
Well, I would have taken it out, but it's fine. Okay, cool.
Okay.
No commercials for Walmart, but if you need our lovely voices, which I can barely stand to listen to, hit me up. All right. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Oh my gosh, I really should not sing. My nose is all clogged. I don't know why. So, what do we do? Oh, yes. What'd you think of these chapters?
These were fun. I had a lot of fun thoughts about these chapters, and I like the chapters that give me thoughts, not the ones that give me details.
But these give thoughts and details.
Yes, and I'm okay with that. I just need some thoughts.
Details for
me,
thoughts for you.
Exactly.
We're both happy.
Exactly. We got it.
All right. So, would you like to commence this episode with a summarization of said
I wouldn't
work?
like to, but I will do it.
Wait, you would like to, but you would do it?
No, I wouldn't like to, but I would do it. I will do it.
All right, then. Let me take out my timer thingamajiggy. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so it's Joffrey's first court session, and Sansa's there, and, you know, there's guards, and there's people, and they're, like, ignoring her, and she's like, oh my gosh! And, Selmy gets demoted, Cersei gets promoted, every single Lannister in the entire world gets promoted, Janos Slynt gets promoted, anyway, irrelevant, stuff happens, people who aren't knights become knights, weird stuff, Joffrey's doing weird stuff, Sansa's like, Joffrey, I want you to spare my father. Anyway, moving on. Plot twist. Eddard. Eddard's next, right? What did Eddard do? Oh, he's in the dungeon. He's thinking about He's thinking about Lyanna, and he has like a memory / dream / dissociation from the world. And then he gets water, and then Varys shows up, and Varys is like, yo, dude. Pretty much our reenactment. Varys is like, yo, if you want to live and like maybe go live on the wall, you should just confess to your crimes, because your daughter presented a great case, but now it's up to you. Okay. Cersei's gonna show up.
That's a minute. Well done. Oh gosh,
Yay.
Applause looks really weird on the... What is that thing called? Recording?
Monitor? I don't know. I don't think it's called a monitor.
Squiggly
but...
thingamajiggy, where it records our sounds.
I don't know what it's called, but...
Wave something. You know what, people? That was me applauding.
I see.
Okay. Good job. So, you are going to lead us today, and I will fill in the blanks because you really need to talk more and I really need to talk less. So, go.
Okay, so we start the chapter, and, today is going to be Joffrey's first court session since, he became king illegally, but we're just not talking about that. And, so we go into, the room with the throne, and
the room with the throne, also known as the throne room.
Okay, whatever, the throne room. And so, from the walls, all of Robert's hunting tapestries have been taken down.
And this should already be... Robert ain't up in here anymore.
Exactly.
This is Lannister.
Yeah, and this should be our first clue that things are changing. That Bob Dylan song that's like, the times are changing. That's this. And so, Sansa, she has freedom of the castle, in quotations, but there's honor guards, also in quotations. So really, she has no freedom.
Yeah, like she can go around anywhere in the castle while being followed around by dudes in white cloaks.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like guards. I don't know if it's specifically the King's Guard. It doesn't matter. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, and so she's looking around and she's, noticing stuff. And there's only like 20 noble people, where when Robert's court was in session, there used to be about 100 people there.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's ignoring her and shying away from her like she has COVID or something.
And they're like whispering about her, and it's just generally unpleasant. And I think she even tries to say something to one of them, and they just pretend they don't hear her, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, there's like Sir Dantos, one of the people, like calls out to her or almost turns to her, and then somebody like whispers in his ear, and he's like, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah, which, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And then, so...
Everybody settles in, and Joffrey comes in,
Oh my gosh.
Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, protector of the realm, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then Pycelle starts listing off the names of all the people that have to come swear fealty to Joffrey. And it's like, all the lords and everybody. And Sansa's like, man, that's going to take all the birds in the city. That's a lot of people. And then we get to the end of the list, and it's like Catelyn, Robb, Bran, Rickon. Like, they need a 3-year-old.
I was thinking about that. Like, so every single person has to show up? Because even in the list, like, even the people we didn't know, they were like, oh, this person's sister, this person's kids. And I was like, that is so inconvenient.
It's like, more like specifically with the Starks, since like they see Ned as a traitor, they need to be sure like even the 3-year-old isn't a traitor, like,
Yeah, I know, but I don't know, that just seems dumb, because it feels like it's the same thing with all the other families, and I'm like, why do they need to uproot their entire lives to just come and say like, hey, king, like, okay,
we're cool, whatever. Yeah.
But
anyway, so also they mention Arya has to come swear fealty, and Sansa's like, so it means that they don't have Arya. I hope she got to Winterfell. She's probably home and playing around. And, well, we don't really know, so she might be.
I don't know. Guess we'll find out. So then Tywin Lannister, Cersei and Jaime's lovely father, is named
Daddy
Hand
Lannister.
of the King. His name is named
That's
Hand
who he is.
I suppose. So he's named Hand of the King, and he's gonna, advise our lovely Joffrey. And Cersei becomes regent person of the realm, and she also now has a place on the small council. And, okay, are women allowed to sit on that council, or is this, like, a first-time thing?
I think if they're a regent. So regent is basically, like, until Joffrey comes of age, like, until he's 16 or whatever, she will rule in his stead.
Yeah.
Like, this is the role that Ned was supposed to fulfill.
Yeah.
But, obviously that didn't happen. But, yeah. I think otherwise... not really, like, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And even, like, the people in, like, the crowd, like, you could see, like, the people reacting to everything that, because Sansa's sitting beside, like, the people, so even to that, they were kind of reacting, and I was like, oh, has a woman been on the council before? So
I think it's that, I don't know, it's not the most common, but if she's regent, then it makes sense that she would be on the council.
Okay, cool. So then they just announce more decisions. So Janos Slynt is made Lord of Harrenhal, and he's also a member of the Small Council now.
Yeah. And no, like, none of the other noble people are happy about this, because they're like, oh, he's just a commoner. They're giving him Harrenhal. He's gonna be a lord now, you know. So it's like, he sucks, but also the other people suck. So like, it just sucks all around.
Exactly. I know. Everybody noble is apparently just awful.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And do you remember what he's chosen for his sigil?
Wasn't it like, it was like a spear that's like bloody, but it's like a gold background,
a bloody
or something
spear.
like that. Yeah.
Like, that's so, because he speared all of Ned's people in the throne room, and that's what earned him this title, but, like, do you really want to be bragging about that?
Yeah.
I stabbed somebody in the back, and therefore I am a lord now. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes. It's not the most honorable thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
And then Cersei's like, okay, well, you know, our Joffrey's just so precious, so one thing we really need to be concerned about is his safety. And then she's like, hey, Sir Barristan, you don't have to do your job anymore. And he's
basically, you're retired now.
Yeah, and he's like, sorry, what?
Yeah, because he says, our vows are taken for life. Only death may relieve the Lord Commander of his sacred trust. And Cersei says, whose death, Sir Barristan? Yours or your king's? And I was like, oh, I couldn't help but appreciate that comment. Like, they're all wrong, like, but still, you know.
Yeah, it was a nice. Cersei's good at comebacks. We gotta admit, even though I don't think any of her actions are right in this chapter, but she's good at comebacks. I will.
Yeah, it was a good comeback for sure.
Yeah,
because he's listing off all the, like, he's like, okay, I served King Jaehaerys, and then King Aerys, and then King Robert, and now Joffrey, and they're like, yeah, all of them are dead. So, yeah.
But I felt so bad for him. I was just like, man, he's one of those only people who's clearly been, like, doing his job to, like, do his job. Yeah. And he's just getting evicted.
Up until recently, you thought he was dead.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so it turns out that he was just not included in their plans, because they had this plan to oust him. Oust him? Yeah.
I guess he wasn't, like, you know, dangerous, so they didn't really have to kill him.
Right.
But that just kind of, like, made me think, even if because originally the reason I thought they were going to kill him is because he kind of, like, hesitated instead of killing Ned that one time. But now I'm realizing that even if he'd been completely loyal, they just wanted Lannister power. So it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah. But anyway, so Jaime's going to take his place as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, and I loved Selmy's little comments and moments here.
You're gonna make the guy that killed his king the commander of the Kingsguard?
I know. And then he was like, if any of you are willing to rule under him, you don't even deserve this position. And I was like, oh, he's being very honest right now.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, as consolation, he's offered some, like, land and servants. And I love this comment. He says, a hall to die in and men to bury me. This has always stuck with me. I don't know why. It's
a good quote.
Yeah. And at this point, he starts taking off his armor and his cloak. And Littlefinger makes some, like, stupid joke about, aha, you're a naked knight. And everybody laughs, even the Kingsguard. And Sansa's thinking about how that must hurt. And I was like, yeah.
I loved this moment, because I don't think anywhere in this book we've seen Sansa show, like,
empathy,
sympathy, or like anything. And I was like, yes, Sansa, yes, this is a good moment for you. And I was just happy with her.
And so at this point, Sir Barristan draws his sword, and all the Kingsguard are like, oh no, he's going to attack Joffrey. And he says, calm down. Even now, I could cut through the 5 of you as easy as a dagger cuts cheese. And I was like, yeah, you can.
Pop off! Yes, confident.
Yeah.
Confident, sir, you do your thing.
Yeah, so he like throws his sword at Joffrey's feet and tells him to melt it down and add it to the others on the Iron Throne. And as he's leaving, he makes like a comment about how, well, the sword may serve you better by killing Stannis when he takes over your throne. And Joffrey takes that as oh, he's definitely colluding with my dad's bros.
Yeah.
And so he orders like the gold cloaks to go after him and detain him and question him. And we don't really know what happens. They just leave.
Yeah.
And then the Hound, of all people, is offered the open position in the Kingsguard. He gets a promotion. And he agrees to it, because, you know, he ain't got anything better to do. But that's what he says. He's like, I don't have any lands, I don't have any family, like, so what?
Yeah.
But he refuses to swear any knight's vows. And I was like, respect. I get it. Like, even when he's being offered that privilege, he spits on it. I just respected him for this, you know? Because we know his deal with knights. Because, you know, his brother is a knight, still an asshole. Yeah. So he knows that it's just a title that is supposed to make you all hoity-toity. But really, he's like, I refuse all that bullshit. So what did you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, but then at the same time, it was just like, they were just changing so much that this was just another thing where it was like, we're changing the way things are done around here, you know?
Yeah, like
the fact that, I don't think, you know, like, other people wouldn't have been okay with that, like, you know? So it was just another jarring thing where I was like, okay, so they're just gonna do
nobody
what
else would have
do.
Also dismissed Barristan, because, like he said, they have to die serving.
Yeah. Yes. That is true.
But it's a revolutionary time, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, but what I thought was kind of, I don't even know if this is funny or interesting, but I thought it is that the last rebellion was led by Robert. Now this one's like, there's like a rebellion being led by Rob. And I was like, all the people of this name are just unhappy.
Right.
With their
so
kings.
If you want them to fight, name them something along those lines.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, what happens next?
So then the court's wrapping up and things are slowing down and Joffrey's like, does anybody else have anything
Not
they want to
Joffrey,
say?
Like the Herald.
Oh, yes, yes.
Joffrey
like,
waste his words on that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Gotta save the breath, you know? And Sansa's getting ready and she's like, if I'm gonna do it at any moment, I have to do it now. And I don't know why. Don't ask me why I thought this. But I wasn't like, oh, she's gonna ask for mercy. Because I thought she'd do that later. Like, I didn't know that would be a now thing. But for some reason, I thought she was gonna, like, I don't know, this is such a stupid thought. But just the way she was talking, like, she made it, I don't know. I just thought she was gonna, I thought she was gonna, like, proclaim her love for Joffrey or something. Like, I thought it was gonna be something, like, not as serious, you know? But then when she did this, like, I was taken aback. I was like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna say?
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, like, I feel like that's something that she might have done before all the shit went down.
That is true.
But now she has other things to worry about.
That's true.
And so she's like all dressed up. She's wearing a black dress, which is actually the dress that Arya had stained with the blood orange. But now she has it dyed black in mourning for the king and whatever. And she's looking all nice. And she thinks to herself that she must be as strong as her lady mother. So I was like, oh, I just really like that woman.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I think she said that before, where she's like, I have to be like my mom. And like, when she's about to do something. Yeah.
And it's like, usually in the past we've seen her be like, oh, I have to be like Queen Cersei. But this time the fact that she the fact that she draws inspiration from Catelyn, it's just really touching.
Yeah.
And okay, this part I
here.
also liked. Like, she goes up to the throne and intentionally kneels on Sir Barristan's like discarded cloak so that her dress doesn't get dirty. And this brought so many things back to me. I am this person. I am 100% this person. So let me tell you a little story. When I was a child living in India, we would have school, children go to school. So at school, we would have a test basically every day, like a quiz or something. And the way they made sure people didn't cheat was like each desk had like 2 people sitting, and they would ask one person to sit on the floor. Mm-hmm. And one person would sit on the desk. And I'd made a deal with my desk partner.
Wait, but then wouldn't the desk person just peek?
Yeah, it didn't make sense. Okay, it was how it went. So I made a deal with my desk partner that I would sit on the floor every single day except Saturday, because Saturday was the day that we wore white uniforms and I didn't want to get it dirty. Like, that's me at 6 years old, by the way.
That's such a Nav thing. Oh my gosh, guys, you don't even know how much of a Nav thing this is.
Nav, right? By the way.
Yes, Nav thing this is. We love it.
But like, I so related to this.
Yes, that is cute.
So wait, getting back to the point. She kneels and begs for mercy for her father, and the entire like council and Cersei, they're like, "Oh, I can't believe you still want to help that traitor." But Sansa's like, "I'm gonna ignore them. I'm just gonna focus on my lovely, beautiful Joffrey." I don't know. And he's like, "Okay, fine, speak." And Sansa's explaining, like, somebody must have lied to Ned. He would have never done this. And he clearly wasn't thinking clearly because he was taking milk of the poppy for his leg injury, Yeah. And Joffrey looks to Cersei and she says that if Ned confesses his crime, they will show some mercy. And Sansa's like, "Yes, please do this if you love me." And he's like, "Okay, fine. You have moved me, and I will be merciful as long as he confesses." And Sansa's like, "I'm sure he will." And that's the end of that chapter.
Also, I was thinking, like, I don't know why this thought came into my head. I don't actually have a reason to back this up. Like, nothing Joffrey has done shows this. But I feel like Joffrey doesn't know much about what's going on, and I'm hoping, and I feel like there's some chance that maybe when he finds out, maybe we get some redemption from him. He does something good, maybe it's possible.
You want everybody to be redeemed.
Not everybody, just I do.
Okay, so far, yeah, exactly. Good thing you admitted it.
But I just, I think he has a chance. I think he could have like a Draco moment.
Was Draco redeemed though? Okay, wait, that's a totally different conversation. Let's get back to this. Okay. So, Ned is not dead.
Yeah, Ned is not dead. Ned is not dead.
Although he is buried in a black cell. That's what those like dungeons are called officially.
Yes.
And like, it's so dark, there's not even room to like properly sit up. And he's thinking about like the joke that Robert made back in Winterfell, and he's like, "Oh, he had it wrong. The king dies and the hand gets buried."
Except he can't even laugh because he has nothing in his system to make the laugh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's just, obviously he can't really do anything, so he's just reflecting on his life and moments and stuff. And he's mad at everybody in King's Landing because, what's his name? Littlefinger betrayed him. He tried to show mercy to Cersei. Hey, that rhymes! He tried to show mercy to Cersei, and she was like, But really, he's mad at himself because he's mad at himself because he let this happen. Yeah. He let his people die for him, and he wasn't even able to, like, get anything in return. And he's mad and he's sad, but he's a Stark, so there's no tears.
All his emotions are frozen inside him, even in
Yeah.
King's Landing. I'm so... I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's
but
like, I wanted to, like, slap him and be like, just cry already.
Okay, but also, like, I feel like for tears, you need something in your system. And
Right.
he's
He's so dehydrated that it's not even the
Yeah.
fact that, okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And then he's also thinking about Catelyn, and he's like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to see her again. And I'm like, I don't know if you are either, buddy. Even if you survive, I don't know if she's going to. Remember?
Yeah.
That's my prediction. And he, his leg's really messed up. And eventually he just starts talking out loud just so he doesn't feel like a void of nothingness.
Yeah, he's like, well said.
And he starts having fever dreams, and he's just dissociating from the world because there is no world where he is.
Yeah, like he closes his eyes, opens them, like there's no difference because it's all dark.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine. Oh, I don't like that.
I know. It was like, I don't know. I just don't like it. And
he has no idea about the passage of time because there's obviously no sunlight. Yeah. And he's been, like, he's really sick, so he, like, falls in and out of sleep, so he has no idea how long it's been. But it's definitely been a few days. Yeah.
And he, like, hallucinates Robert, and he's apologizing to him for hiding the truth. And Robert says, "You stiff-necked fool, too proud to listen. Can you eat pride? Will honor shield your children?" And I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Basically the same thing that we, the readers, have been yelling at him the entire book. And he's yelling it at himself because this is like a manifestation of his own thoughts.
Yeah, but now it's too late. It's like, bro, there's no point thinking in it now.
Well, he still has the choice between honor and life, so
hopefully this reflection helps.
Yeah.
And then Robert turns into Littlefinger, and it's just all
I just added
moments.
this because there's this quote. He says, "When Littlefinger opened his mouth to speak, his lies turned to pale gray moths and took wing." And I was like, that's a good visual, but like it also suits Littlefinger.
Yeah, true. Definitely. And Ned's being starved, and he's only given water after a few days. And the jailer that brings him the water... The jailer that brings him the water refuses to talk to him. So once again, there's, like, no interaction, and he's just alone in the depths of the world. And he's, remembering more things, and he's remembering the tourney that happened at Harrenhal. And he can't remember...
the false spring. I don't know. I just like that.
Yeah. And he really can't tell if it's a memory or a dream, but he just remembers
everything's the one and the same, basically.
Yeah, and he's just in one long moment. It's not even a And he remembers coming down from the Eyrie for the tournament, and he was just 18 at the time. And Jaime,
little baby.
I know, but this made me realize, like, so is Jaime older because he was made a knight at this point? Or could he have just been younger?
Actually younger.
Dang.
This isn't important, so I can just tell you. He was 16 when he was made a knight.
Dang. Okay, go off, Jaime. Do your
I
thing, sir.
Maybe he was a knight before he was made a knight of the King's Guard.
Right.
But, like, he was made a part of the King's Guard when he was 16.
Okay.
That I know for sure.
Interesting. And then he also, at that same tournament, in this memory, he's remembering Rhaegar winning the tournament and the shock of the crowd when Rhaegar passed his own wife and then gave Lyanna the crown of blue winter roses,
which signifies that he was naming her the Queen of Beauty instead of his wife.
Which, sir, sir, calm down.
Yeah.
Poor, what's his wife's name? I don't even know.
Elia Martell.
Poor Miss Martell. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it must have sucked. But I don't know. So this kind of like plays into our theory about Jon being Lyanna and Rhaegar's kid. So it's a cool memory.
Yeah.
Because like as Ned kind of like wakes out of this memory, he remembers the "Promise me, Ned" and Lyanna dying and everything. So it like connects to all that.
Yeah. But now that they're like encouraging our theory, I'm like, it's probably gonna be wrong. Because now the book's encouraging our theory.
There's too much evidence.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't know. But I'm still sticking with the theory. It's a good theory. I just don't see anything else making sense as of right now.
Okay.
And, you know, Ned's thinking about, you know, how he's not being given food, but he's like, oh, I'm not gonna be starved, because if Cersei wanted me dead, I would already be dead, like, it's already been too long, and I wouldn't be given water if she wanted me to survive. She just wants me to suffer.
Yeah.
And he's also, you know, still under the idea that Catelyn has Tyrion, which, sir, you're very behind. In this little cave. Where's the, like, do you not get news down there? Like, what's going on, Ned?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Where he doesn't even get water regularly, he's gonna get news.
Yes, totally.
But, like, it has been a while, like, since Tyrion escaped the Eyrie.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
I would think that news had gotten to Ned before he was put in the dungeon. But, oh well, it hasn't. The point is, he still thinks
but
Catelyn.
also, Varys didn't know that Tyrion, like, got past to the Lannisters. So I just think...
Right, because that just happened last chapter. Like, that was literally the last chapter.
Yeah, but Varys knows everything.
That's still a lot faster than...
That's true. That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah. Maybe
so
it's
then,
like showing the, you know, shortcomings that Varys has. I don't know.
That's fair.
Maybe it
so
hasn't been as long as it feels, because there's just so many damn chapters. There were all those chapters where it was like, okay, I'm having breakfast with the girls. I'm having a talk with Littlefinger. The girls are fighting. Like, there were all these chapters which, like, basically took place in the course of, like, maybe a week at the most.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about. Yeah. So Varys shows up, and he's disguised as a jailer, and he offers Ned wine, and he has to prove that it's not poison by drinking it himself.
Yeah, he's like, nobody trusts a eunuch.
Yeah. And Varys is like, so buddy, this is what's going on. And he tells Ned that Arya has escaped the castle, and no one's been able to find her. So
which is both like good and bad news, because
I trust
bad news
Arya
because we don't know where she is, but good news that the Lannisters don't have her.
Yeah, but I'm good with her being the one that's alone. I feel like she'll be resourceful, I think. I hope.
All right.
I don't want to have to predict another death, guys. I just hope that she's resourceful.
It seems to be your favorite thing. I don't know.
Or predicting redemption arcs. One of those. So then he tells her that Sansa's still engaged to Joffrey, and, you know, Cersei's keeping her close. And Varys tells Ned about how Sansa had a touching gesture when she, you know, tried to plead for his life. And Ned, you know, Varys also, you know, Varys is pretty much just updating him about all these things. So Varys also tells him that Tyrion is not with Catelyn anymore. And Ned's like...
Because Ned's like, oh, my Sansa's safe, I'm safe, because Cat's got Tyrion. And he says, because Kat's got her brother. And Varys says, the wrong brother. And besides, she let him slip too, so... Yeah. Yeah.
And Ned's like,
well, you might as well kill me now.
Yeah. And then he's like, why are you talking to me now? It's not like you helped me in the throne room. And Varys is like, I'm sorry, what should I have done? Gotten myself killed for you and done nothing for the both of us?
Yeah. And I was like totally... with him with this.
Yeah, like literally, what are you gonna do? Every single, like, and also, you know, Varys obviously knew that they were all against him anyway, so, you know, like, come on, Ned, he already knew.
So wait, do you think he knew about the plan? Like, all of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think if he hadn't known, then he wouldn't, because, for example, like, let's say Littlefinger didn't know the plan beforehand. Obviously he did, because he, like, executed the plan. But, you know, he still did something to, like, prove himself. But Varys didn't really do anything in the moment. So I think he would have already been part of the plan to still have that, like, position now. I don't know if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it kind of does. Okay.
What were we talking about? So
yes.
Ned's sorry.
Okay, let me go for a
staring
bit.
at each other. Okay.
So Ned asks Varys if he can free him, and Varys is like, I could, but would I? Basically, no, because any investigation would inevitably lead back to him, so he's being smart about this. And he's like, oh, but I could totally take a message for you. You know, I'll read it and decide whether or not to deliver it, but, like, you can write it out if you want.
Yeah.
And then he asks Ned, what strange fit of madness led you to tell the queen that you had learned the truth of Joffrey's birth? And Ned says, the madness of mercy. And he's like, oh, Varys is like, oh yeah, I forgot that you're an honest and honorable man. I've met so few of them in my life. And when I see what honesty and honor have won you, I understand why.
I was like, dang. Honestly, I really appreciated this because Varys just told him everything that I wanted to tell him. And just, like, called him out in the best way. And I was like, yeah, listen to that, Ned.
Yes.
And, yeah, Ned was just not cooperating.
Yeah, and Ned wants to know if Varys, like, spoke to Lancel about the wine that the king was drinking when he died. And he's like, oh yeah, it was Cersei that gave him the wine. Like, I mean, once you told her that she knew the truth, like, she had to do something. Yeah. Basically, in short, it was not the wine that killed the king, it was your mercy.
Yeah, which, that kind of sucks, man. Yeah. Like,
he was trying to do the right thing, but it ended up being the wrong thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you know, you either win or you lose, like Cersei said. You can't try to...
You win
can't
or
try
you
to
die.
help. Or, yeah, sorry. Well, yeah, exactly. You win or you die. That works even better
you
with
win
this
or you
situation.
get buried alive.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what happens. Hopefully he uses this as a learning opportunity because every single, like, in this chapter, every single thing that he said to Varys has led to this, you know, conclusion of, okay, this is what you have to do, Ned. You know, like, every single thing. And, like, now that he's had so much time to reflect, like, I just, you know.
Yeah.
But this was the part that I really, like, liked when they were kind of talking about, like, honor and, like, Ned was like, what do you want to do? How do I know you're not just, you know, like, why are you here? What's your objective? And Varys was like, no, I'm doing this so that the kingdom, the realm can have peace.
I serve the realm.
Yeah. And I don't know. It was kind of this interesting thing of, like, you know, the entire book, we've been associating, like, honor and doing the right thing with Ned. Mm-hmm. But there's this thing in, like in philosophy, there's this thing where it's, like, actions don't have their own morality. It's just, like, the actions' consequences. So if we think about, like, the consequences of Varys' actions, or what he wants his consequences to be, versus, like, these consequences of Ned's actions, it's just, I don't know, it was just interesting thinking about, like, questioning that definition of
like,
honor.
Maybe just doing the honorable thing every time isn't actually the right thing. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, maybe, you know, because, like, who was it? Oh, no, it wasn't Littlefinger. It was, what's the king's brother's name? The younger one?
Renly?
Yeah, Renly. When Renly was like, oh, we're gonna kidnap the kids and keep them in custody. That was him, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Ned was like, oh, well, I can't kidnap a kid. He was kind of just thinking about, like, the action itself. He was like, oh, that action's wrong. But he wasn't thinking about necessarily,
but
like,
it would
what
have,
that
like,
action
potentially saved the lives of all of his household guard, so...
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I just enjoyed thinking about that, and I was like, man, no matter how I think about it, Ned, you messed up.
Yeah, but we also have, like, the benefit of, like, knowing everything that has happened, and, like, we can reflect on it now.
That's
but,
true.
Like, Ned
he
was
did not
doing
have
the
that
best
luxury.
he could. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Varys is like, oh yeah, why didn't you do what Littlefinger asked you to do and support Joffrey? And Ned's like, how do you know that? He's like, I just do. Just like I know that Cersei will visit you tomorrow, so be ready. Because she wants to, you know, work with you, cooperate. And she has many enemies to worry about.
There was this one quote when he was talking about Cersei. So he was talking about how Cersei knows that what did she say? Like a cooperative wolf is better than a dead wolf. And I was thinking the one wolf that was near her, she did kill it. So
right.
You know, I was
Well, this is like metaphorical.
I know, but that was just my thought. I was like, you killed the actual wolf, but anyway, I was just salty.
Yeah. Forever.
Forever.
We shall never forget, lady.
Yes.
So, wait. Yeah, Varys is explaining how Cersei has many enemies to worry about, including Robb, and it's like, Robb? My child? 15-year-old child? And Varys is like, yes, child, but with an army child? Okay, I don't know why I keep saying that.
Stop, that was funny.
Stop, that is funny.
No. That was really funny.
Okay.
Child.
But, so he's like, okay, Cersei's got enough things to worry about. But most of all, she's worried about Stannis, because he's got, like, the rightful claim. Yeah. And Cersei needs Ned to stop the fighting in the Riverlands so that the Lannister army can focus on Stannis. And Ned's like, oh, if Stannis wins, that's great. He is the rightful king. And Varys is like, what have we been talking about this whole fucking time? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't want you to be honorable. I want you to serve the realm. Okay? Just do the thing. And he's like, well, you know, if you agree to this, Cersei will let you take the black. And it's like, oh, the black brothers, my brother Benjen, my son, John. Basically, he's like thinking about like being at the wall, and he's like, oh, I feel so sad and shamed about John. And if I could only talk to him. And I'm like, what would you say? Tell us.
Yeah, and
but
also the only way you could talk to him is if you shut up when Cersei comes to visit you. What about that?
Yeah. And Ned's like, so whose behalf are you doing this on? Did Littlefinger put you up to this? And Varys is like, I only give him like choice tidbits to keep him thinking that, you know, we're on the same side. The same thing I do with Cersei, but really, I serve the realm. Realm and I, we're buds.
I love how he said, I think at one point he was like, oh, Littlefinger, he's the second smartest, second clever, most clever man in the realm. I was like,
who do you think he's saying he himself is the most clever?
Yeah.
Interesting.
What else would
No,
it be?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if he would refer to himself as that.
But who else? Like, everybody else has proved that they, like he has tabs on everybody else.
Yeah, I don't really know. That was just like, when I was thinking it, I didn't think of Varys as being the first one. I don't know. He's beyond all that shit, you know?
Oh, I see.
Wait, what were we talking about? So yeah, Varys is like, cut to the point, confess, and, you know, everything will be well. And Ned's like, yeah, my life is not so precious to me. And Varys says, pity. And your daughter's life, my lord, how precious is that? And Ned's like, but she's a child. And Varys is like, so was Rhaenys, and she was even younger, and she wasn't spared, so think about that.
Ned just has this thing where he just can't, like, he just doesn't get other people. Like, he thinks everybody's like himself, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's gonna be his fatal flaw. Yeah.
Like, rather than even the whole honorable thing, like, it's cool to be honorable, but don't assume everybody else is.
Yeah.
And lastly, the last thing I want to mention in this chapter is Varys has a quote here. He says, the High Septon once told me that as we sin, so do we suffer. If that's true, Lord Eddard, tell me, why is it always the innocents who suffer most when you high lords play your Game of Thrones? And I was like, that hit a point.
I know. That's so true. Like, it's like everybody in your family's still alive, but everybody who was serving you is dying, buddy. Like, think about them. We don't like it. We hate it. We hate their... Yeah. They're... I was gonna, like, list stuff off, and then I was like, the list is too long, so I'm just gonna say yeah. So, yeah.
Any list can be concluded by yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so do you have anything to add, talk about these chapters before we move on to predictions?
I haven't looked at my notes, so I should probably do that. I think I'm good.
All right, so let's move on to predictions then. Let's start with a simple one. What do you think Arya is up to? Like, is she back in Winterfell like Sansa hopes?
She's not went back at Winterfell yet.
I think one of your predictions was like she gets on a boat. That was like the extent of your prediction.
Yes, okay. So I think she's gonna get on a boat. Well, okay, wait.
Like, you can change that now. I'm just reminding you what it was.
Let me think about it. I don't know, because like Arya doesn't know everything that's going on. Like, she doesn't know that her brother's leading a rebellion, and this is what's going on with her mom. Like, her mom's not at home, so she doesn't know all those things. So she might just be like, okay, let's go home. I'm gonna get on a boat to Winterfell.
Okay, so she's on her way to Winterfell.
She's trying to be on her way to Winterfell.
She's on a boat trying to be on her way to Winterfell?
Yes.
Okay. Next. Will Ned learn his lesson? And will Sansa be proven right? Will he falsely confess and let go of his honor?
Okay. So...
Okay.
I said before that Ned is one of my favorite characters.
Right.
That was a long time ago.
Right.
It feels like a long time ago. It was definitely a couple months ago, like, even if it wasn't. No, I think it was last month.
Okay.
So I said that. And now I'm thinking that if he doesn't do this, that status
list anymore.
That status cannot be upheld anymore. Because this isn't even, it's not even, like, we're past the point of him ignoring these things. Like, now they're in front of him. Varys has told them to him, and he was already thinking about these factors when he was reflecting. So now, like, he just has to do it. Yeah, it's now or never. So, but I think he's gonna do it.
Okay.
I think he's gonna cooperate. He might cooperate and then later try to rebel, But at this point, he's gonna cooperate. He's gonna listen. But he'll have a difficult time listening, because Cersei's probably gonna say something that'll annoy him. But he'll be like, I'm thinking about my daughter,
All right. So let's say he confesses. What's Rob going to do in response to that?
Rob is going to... Well, see, I don't think that would
is he going to quit the war and go home?
I don't think he would, because he might just be like, oh, they're forcing him to say that, Like, okay. I don't think he's gonna quit. I think he's gonna keep going.
Will Ned and Sansa still be safe if, like, Rob is still fighting against the Lannisters?
That's true, they wouldn't, so would he still do that? But I don't know, I just don't see him, like, I just don't see it being like, okay, Ned says don't do this, and Rob being like, okay, Dad, bye, Like, I just don't see it being that simple. Like, maybe, I don't know, though, but he really has no choice, because now both of his family members are there. But Catelyn literally told him that was his only choice. So what's he gonna... You know what? He's gonna keep going. He's just gonna try and be secretive about it. I don't know.
I don't know how you could be secretive about waging a war.
I know, but, like, okay, I don't know what he's gonna do, but all I'm gonna say is he's not just gonna go back home.
Okay.
That's all I can say. I don't know what he's gonna do, but...
Ned confesses, Rob doesn't go back home.
Mm-hmm.
Ned goes to the wall, and, like, do we get that conversation with Jon, and is like, so, dude... Let me tell you about your mama. Wait, what is that show? How I Met Your Mother?
Oh.
He's gonna be like, let me tell you about the time I met your mother.
Oh my gosh. I don't know, though. I don't think he's gonna get to go to the wall yet.
Okay.
Like, he might he might just be trapped there for a little bit longer. You know?
Okay.
Like maybe because, like, Robb didn't stop, he'll still be trapped there. Like, he won't get to go to the wall, because they won't want Robb to go meet up with him at the wall, or something. Even though he's way far south, but, like, they wouldn't trust to let go of Ned yet, because Robb's
okay, so they're gonna hold him until everything calms down, and then he's gonna be able to go to the wall.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm just gonna look through the notes. Ooh, what's Barristan gonna do? Will he, make it out of the city? Where's he gonna do? Where's he gonna go? What's he gonna do?
Barristan Selmy, or...
Yeah, Barristan Selmy. That's the only Barristan.
I always think of, what's his name? Stannis Baratheon as Barristan Selmy, because it's BS and then SB. Okay. So I always think of them as each other. Okay. He's gonna... See, but now they want to investigate him. So they're gonna investigate him, and... He's
gonna be thrown in the same dungeon as Ned. They're gonna be dungeon buddies. They're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I think he'll either, like, get killed, and if he doesn't get killed, he'll eventually, like, leave the city or whatever, and then, like, he'll go to where he's supposed to be, and then he'll, I don't know, go join Mr. Stannis or something.
Okay. Yeah. Fair prediction. Talking about Stannis, everybody's real worried about him. Like, what's he up to?
I don't know. Like, Cersei thinks that, he's generating an or he's, like, putting together an army.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's putting together an army, but, like, we've never even met this guy,
Yeah.
Like, all we've heard is, okay, he was, working with Jon Arryn, and then Jon Arryn got killed, and he left, and he hasn't come back since. They've been communicating with him, right? Like, I'm assuming. It's been a while. And he's still on the Kingsguard, so...
Kingsguard Council.
Oh, sorry, yeah, like...
I think, like, Ned sent him the summons, like, hey, I need you back at court, because wink wink. And he just didn't get a reply, probably. Like, he was hoping that he would show up at the Hans tourney. He didn't.
Oh,
and then he was going to send him that letter, but Fat Tom got killed, so...
Right. Okay, so... Okay, well, I don't really know what he's doing, so I'm just gonna go with what everybody thinks, that he's putting together an army. So maybe he's putting together an army.
That's, like, he assumes, like, he's putting together an army because he thinks he's the rightful heir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, maybe Jon Arryn and him were, communicating about that.
Right. They were working on the investigation up to the point that Jon Arryn died.
Yeah.
All right, so what else is there? Okay, Ned confesses. He eventually gets sent to the wall. What about Sansa? Is she still gonna marry Joffrey?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think she's gonna, marry him right now, but I think she's still gonna be, like, kept there for a while, because I think, like, they think they can keep using her, because she's, like, she's the only Stark that, like, trusts them and,
Okay, that's fair.
And, like, could be potentially faithful to them. So.
All right. That's all the prediction questions I have for these chapters. Would you like to move on to next chapters?
Yeah. How many chapters are we reading next time?
We are reading not 1, not 2, 3 chapters.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a couple weeks or I don't know. So, any hopes or guesses?
I don't want to say Dany yet because that means that war is raging. I do want to see Arya because I don't want to know what my bestie's up to. I want to see Arya and I want to see Jon. I want to see.
You
Jon.
Always want to see Jon.
I love Jon. I love Jon.
Fangirl.
I am not a Jon fangirl.
You just said you love Jon.
Okay, but I'm not a Jon fangirl. I don't I don't know. He does some questionable stuff sometimes, but I like Jon.
Okay.
Jon, Arya, and... Do I want Catelyn? Yeah, I want Catelyn. Jon, Arya, Catelyn.
All right. Well, your wishes have been granted and not granted at the same time.
Okay.
So the first chapter, chapter 59, is Catelyn.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, out of
What's
those
she up
three,
to?
she's the most likely. What was she doing last time?
She met up with Rob and she was like,
Oh,
I'm not going back to
yeah!
Winterfell. I'm going to go see my daddy.
Okay, so I keep predicting that, like, along the way something's gonna happen to people, so maybe I can just predict that she'll actually get there this time.
Okay.
So she'll get there, and then she'll, see, like, weren't they under a siege or something?
Yeah, River runs under a siege.
Yeah, so she'll see that, and she'll be like, how do I get there? And it'll be a dilemma.
Okay. Next up, we have chapter 60 with a fan favorite, Jon.
Oh my gosh! I got 2 out of 3. See, once you said Catelyn, I was like, oh, I only got 1 out of 3. But okay, Jon, what did he do last time?
I don't know. What did he... Oh, he killed a white. He
my
burned
gosh,
a white, so we don't know if
yeah.
it died.
I forgot about that. Oh my gosh, yeah, I totally want to see Jon. Okay.
I'm so glad that I didn't just, like, make up that conversation in our head and just, like, didn't spoil you again.
Oh my gosh, that would be so funny. I'd be like, what's a white? And you'd be like,
It's all the white people at the wall because, they're the black brother, so they're like, we ain't dealing with this anymore. Okay. Move on now.
Okay.
Just move on.
Okay, so Jon, I'm sure they're gonna be... Oh yeah, we were worried about him being punished because he was because he tried to kill Alistair. Well, he didn't try to kill Alistair, but he
He totally attacked Alistair. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so maybe... Oh yeah, because I remember predicting last time that he was gonna get some mercy because of this incident. I think he's gonna get some mercy. I'm hopeful. But also at the same time...
Mercy from Cersei?
No. Mercy from Commander... Whatever
Mormont.
his name is. Mormont.
Jeor Mormont.
Yes. So maybe he'll be like, you know what? You're a dumb kid, but you have a good heart. So he'll get some mercy, but at the same time he'll be like, you can't lift a sword for 2 months or something,
Okay. So he's grounded.
Yes, he's grounded.
All right. Next chapter after that is chapter 61. And here's where you didn't get your wish. It's Daenerys.
No! This is scary.
Okay, why?
I don't know. I don't want...
Because they were, like, riding off to war?
Yeah. This is scary.
But, like, they're on the other side of a whole other continent.
Okay, that's true.
Like...
That's true. Okay, so they'll be, riding along. Oh my gosh, they're gonna be riding along and, like, what's it called? Her water's gonna break and it's gonna be... it's gonna be a moment.
So, like, she's going to labor and we're gonna meet her baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not so bad.
Yeah. I think I was thinking too far ahead.
Okay. All right, then. I think that's everything.
Oh my gosh, we're under an hour.
Okay, wait, we gotta finish this. Okay, so, people, email us any theories, questions at popculturesymposium@gmail.com. And until next time, farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later.
We did it!